All right. So stream is up and live, and we have a momentous day here today. Really excited. I just heard that Mr. Michael Sullivan hit the first forex. So
Yes, sir.
as as you all know, it's our quest is $250 starting, turning that into $1 million, and we're just going to 4x our way along. So if you 4x, not 10x, but 4x, $250, it's $1,000. So Mike just turned his account, and it happened when, Mike?
This morning.
This morning. He hit it. So congratulations to Michael Sullivan. Really excited for you. Excited for all of us because we're all learning. But really excited. First step is there. Now I get a lot more steps to go, but on the way, bud. On the way.
Yeah. And now it's
This morning on trading with Donnie Pips, and his hour with us is called coffee. Now I went blank.
coffee and charts.
Coffee and charts. I didn't say trading. Coffee and charts. And yeah, Mike was featured a couple of times.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
he deserves it. So tell us how it went, Mike.
Yeah, so a couple things. Number one is I first of all noticed on Euro USD, this is not a big win, but it was just a good catch. A head and shoulders pattern forming. And due to the head and shoulders pattern forming, I asked Donnie what he thought about taking the buy all the way up to a certain number. And he's like, I'd be hesitant on this and this. He's like, but actually, I do like the buy here. I do like the buy. And I took it. I had taken it in advance of asking him because I liked it anyway. But I just wanted his opinion on it to see if I was in the right mindset.
Sure.
And because if he was like, I hate it, I would have got out. But yeah, so that worked out and felt good because that was my first head and shoulders pattern that I've like picked up while it was developing. And it's just because I haven't been looking for it. I've been looking at other indicators, but it was the first one I looked at and I said, this is textbook. So we're going to take this one. And that was on the 1 hour. But on gold, yeah. So I mean,
Before you go to gold, can
Yep.
you go back? Can you pull up that chart and
yeah.
explain exactly what you mean? I mean, I understand head and shoulders, but explain it to everybody so they can see this. Because again, folks, you know, we're not giving you recommendations. We're not giving you financial advice. We're simply sharing our journey, what we're learning, and the mistakes we're making, and the wins we're getting too. So
Right here. So I'm going to look at on the 2 hour because this is where I was focusing on this one. I was looking at the 1 hour, but the 2 hour was even more succinct. So when I looked at it, this was right here. So we had this right here, and so so this is almost like an inverted head and shoulder. I mean, so you have shoulders, head, shoulders. Okay, so like your head sits above both shoulders, and so we saw this coming down, and then I looked at it, and right as I saw it, I saw this was forming. And then I really didn't think much of it. I just happened to see it early this morning because I woke up. My daughter flew into Hawaii to meet her sister, and so I was just checking on a few things and making sure everything was good, and I didn't get any unexpected early morning text. So that went fine, and went back to bed. And I woke up, and this was here. So right around here, this was like up to the top here, and then this came back, and then this formed. And I was like, well, if this comes in, this is going to probably go all the way up to about somewhere in this area. And if I looked at it right here, I said, well, what if we play this up to like the top of the wick? And I set my take profit from this candle to this candle up here to the top of the wick and hit it. Exactly. And yes, is there a chance it could go higher? Yeah, but I'm good with this. I'm very good with that. I don't even know what the pips were because I didn't measure it, but let's just call it like
I was
here.
going to add that 30, about 30 pips, 28 pips.
Yep. So I mean, again, simple pickup. If you're doing bigger deals, it's a lot, but it was more just recognizing, pushing the button based on your knowledge, and it working the way we wanted it to. On gold, what I was going to say, and I can quickly go there. So today's been a crazy morning. I have been playing primarily the 4 hour. I started off in the 1 hour, then I moved to the 4. But I got in, let's say, here.
Okay.
Yeah, right around here, in between here and here. And I was like, well, don't buck the trend. Once it went through this resistance line right here, which was a support line, it flipped. I said, take the sell. And I took the sell down to the front of the demand zone. And I
Nice.
got out. Then I took the back wall buy up to here. And I'm still in that buy. And reason being, when I talked to Donnie, when I hit over 1,000, he's like, if you're staying in on the 4-hour buy, I think he said 46.59 or all the way up to the 10 moving average. He's like, if you can stay there and we can get through these lines and get through Jerome, he's like, you're taking it up to the 10 moving average. He's like, and that 1,000, depending on your lot size, could be as high as 13,000.
All right.
Now, I don't think on my lot size it would be that high. I think it would be around probably about 5,000 or 4,000, but that'll be fine. That's the next Forex jump.
Sure, that's okay.
Yeah. Yep.
That is fantastic. So proud of you, bud. I got to say, you've been studying, you've been working, you've been learning, you've been focused. You taught us a bunch of stuff, and really, really happy for you. Man, that's awesome.
Yeah, and this has been good. This was up here, as you can see, it was going really well. I was up $350 on this, and now it's in drawback, and that's fine. I mean, I think it's still going to go well for me. I'm drawback 240 right now.
But you're much more comfortable with that drawback now that you've got that room in that account.
Yeah, on the new account though, I'm not. On the new account, I'm in drawback 75 on a $100 account that was already up $100.
Oh,
so I was doing a long-term play on that, and I'm only doing a 0.02 lot size. But yeah, it's hard not to jump out of that one.
I can imagine. You know, yesterday I was in a trade. You and I were actually in the same trade, and I was getting ready because I had to go to some meetings, but I was in drawdown a fair amount, and this is on a gold trade, and I knew it was going to go up, or I believed it was going to go up, but it finally got to the point where I was barely in profit, right? And it was teetering.
Yeah,
I'm talking like $1, right? That's not a whole lot of profit. And then all of a sudden, Einstein calls a sell on gold. And I didn't look. I just knew I had to go.
Yeah.
And I didn't want it to go back because it had gone from profit down to a significant drawdown. Not as big as yours, you know, the one you're talking about now, but had gone back to profit a little bit, went way back down even further. So it looked like, all right, that sell could be, you know, it could take me a while before I recover. And it almost hit my stop loss the last time. So I'm like, I'm out of this now. And I get out, I forget whether I was 14 cents or 40 cents as a loss. So I did take a loss in that one. But I really didn't have the time to stay there, and I didn't want it to hit my stop loss and just waste a bunch of money. So I forewent the potential for the profit, and I did look back, and it had gone up after that, even though Einstein called it a sell, but it was a sell on the 5-minute. I was on the hour.
Yep.
So I could have stayed in there. My initial belief was correct, but you know, there's times when you look and it's like, all right, if you can't be there to watch it and you know you could lose significantly, you have to make a decision. So that was the decision I made. Looking back at it though, I will say I probably should have simply said, okay, you know what? I'm just going to move my stop loss much higher. And, you know, maybe I would have, you know, been down a couple dollars, but then still had the chance to continue that upswing. And in worst case, I would have lost a couple dollars. I didn't do that. I just got out and I kept, you know, I just went to my next meetings. But so I've had a couple of those where, just timing for me. Like I couldn't watch it. Other times I'm in a trade and I'm very comfortable with where my stop loss is and my take profit, and I can leave it alone and I just let it ride. And usually I'd say probably 70% of the time, that's an approximate. I win on that. I profit on those.
Yep.
Right.
But when you're not sure, it's like, all right, get out while it's safe to get out, and then come back to fight another day.
Yeah, and just giving this as an example, like we've talked about the balances again. I tried again, just $100 balance, and could I just do it? Because this is a great trade that I'm in on, and I'm confident it's gonna profit.
Mhm.
But a 0.02 couldn't support the drawback. 0.02. So I had to get out with like a $90 loss out of the 100 because I can't go down to zero.
No.
And so 90% is what I was willing to get out at. So now I would just have to slowly build it out at 0.01 trades. And I'm just going to have to be very confident in something that's already moving strong in a direction. And I believe it's just going to continue, build it up to like $20 or $25, and then just keep on going from there. But I got to build it back up to 100 is like my next step. And that's what I started doing, is having goals for the next step. Okay.
Yep.
So like ideally I want to get it up to 100. Great. That's awesome. That's where my focus is. Once I'm at 100, now I want to get it to 250. Once I'm at 250, now I want to get it to 1,000, and then follow our 4x path. But
Yep.
so like right now at 8, it's like get it to 25 and get the 25 to 100, get the 100 to 250, and then go from there. Those are the numbers I'm kind of focusing in on. But that $100, I just added so much stress because of the limited balance.
Oh, definitely. It definitely does. When you're at 1,000, big difference. Because even then, you can be at a slightly higher lot size and have lots of room.
Yep.
Right. One thing I will comment on is look up above, because we got a cross happening there between
Right
60
here.
and the 200. Yep. And so.
And that's roughly around what, 1 p.m.
Yep.
So again, that's just just make sure. I mean, my goal is to hit this. Well, how much time we got left on this? 2 hours, 25 minutes. So in this candle, I'd love to hit that right there. Hit the 10. Oops.
That would be nice.
This is my target right here.
Okay.
Hit the 10. I also would be very aware of, you have this line right here. And Donnie, I think it said, well, that's why he said it right here. This is the other one. So it's like, this is my TP1, this is my TP2, this is my TP3. It's the best way I'm looking at it.
Got it.
Right.
And I have this set right now because I'll manually get out here or here.
Yep.
And the minute I got out of that trade, it would have blown me up. It would have got below 100, but it's just turned around and doing great now.
And that's what happens.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So I definitely see those points of resistance. What's below you? What is the structure below you?
Great question. So I added this line this morning because I didn't have anything below me. So we have a support line here, and this goes back to January.
See, I can't believe how low this is right now. I mean, if you look at that, 46.11 is where gold is.
Right there.
Anyway,
And this is on a low wick.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we were gold was at 56.
Right.
100 for a high.
Yeah.
And that was a good high. But so it's basically dropped $1,000. And that's over a fairly short period of time.
Just to properly mark it up. Okay, so now if I go back over to here.
So did that change your thinking at all?
No, I'm still in the buy here. I'm in the buy here for this time frame.
Yeah.
Got it.
No, and it is making sense to me as well. I know that, I love to take them off the back walls, which we've talked about.
Yep.
because I'm trying to get as much as possible. But a lot of times I'll miss a trade because it didn't quite go down to that back wall. It didn't quite hit. Like I'll put you seen that back wall at 4403
Yep.
mounts, and I'll usually put my alerts at say 4406. So I get about $3 more movement, and then I'll jump in and take a look at it. And either that or I'll have it set to be able to take that trade. But that's my favorite place because I'm usually I can get a little bit more out of it.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, no, and on this one, I had 2 alerts set. I had a front wall and back wall alert set. The front wall set, and I had the front wall set for twice. I didn't have it just crossing down because I wanted to know if it came down and then came back up right away. And that's what I got. I got the alert. I actually literally hopped in the shower, and I got the alert that it crossed down, and I just was like, okay, well, there's sound 1. And then right as I was getting out of the shower, I heard coming up, and I was like, bye.
Bye. Boom. Yep. Nice. Well, that's funny. So you get the different sounds, which I love doing that with with TradingView. Really looking for. I know we don't have a time frame, an ETA on GNT being on TradingView, but that's when that happens. I mean, we're learning, we're doing things this way. Once that happens, I think it's going to almost supercharge us as well.
Yep.
Because we'll be on one screen basically for everything. Now we'll have multiple screens for news and everything else, but we'll be able to do everything on one screen that we need to do, and that's powerful.
Yep. And that's where, yeah. So I mean, whatever. I just want this just riding this trade out. But again, too, you asked if we were taking that into account. Yes, we're taking it all into account and just making the decision. The biggest thing I'm monitoring right here is this: how is on the RSI? How is price going to impact Jerome? Is Jerome going to give it a hard rejection, multiple rejections, or is it going to push through? If it pushes through, I'm extremely confident. If it resists multiple times and I don't think it's going to get through, then I'm probably going to have to look at taking my TP1 or my TP2 or somewhere in between.
Sure.
I've also been like certain balances. Like when I knew I was at 1,013 this morning, I was like, get out. That was your goal.
Done.
Like it was consolidating a little bit, and I'm like, what are you waiting for? You hit your goal. Just get out.
Yeah.
And you can get back in later, but for right now, check.
Yeah, exactly. You don't need to be greedy. What we need to do is so we hit targets. We have a plan.
Right.
And that was one of the other things that Donnie Pips taught us was creating a trading plan and following that plan. So
yeah. If Donnie didn't say, literally, he said, Michael, or he's like, Mike, if you sit in this 4 hour today and you take it up to here, you're looking at like 13,000. That changed my plan for the day. Because my plan did not include riding it that high, but his confidence in it gave me confidence in it. And I'm like, all right, let's do this. So so I'm like, all right, we'll just patiently do it. But again, I'm so comfortable with the balance. Like there's zero stress on it. I'm confident in the decision. If I lose a couple $100, I'm okay with losing $300 on this.
Yeah.
I don't want to, but I know, I mean, I'll be, again, fully transparent. Okay. Last night, 202. I hit that yesterday, okay? A profit of 202. I'm now at 948. So I'm like, all right, you're there. Let's go. Let's make this happen. Wrong mentality, because it wasn't like I'm not great at the shorter time frames yet, so I should play where I'm successful. I'm very successful on the 1 and 4, especially the 4. So stay in your lane until you're better. I did not do that. Next trade, negative 354.14. It hit my stop loss.
Yeah.
Next trade, $4.10. Why? Because I jumped in something I shouldn't have got into. And I was like, this is stupid. You got a profit. Get out. Then I saw something else forming and got in and negative 280.70. So I'm like, okay, so that's over $600 in 2 trades out of the last 3. You're
Mhm.
done. You're officially done. You're retired. You have lost the right to trade by being a moron. So we're out. And I put a limit on myself and I got out.
Yeah.
And then started to get in this morning, and it was a $20 win, $42 win, $61 win, $2.90, 48 cents. I mean, $2.90, $48, $529.37. Then a $91 loss, $69 win, $237 loss, $250 win. So, and that's all gold. Yeah, but it's like, yeah, I can't set my stop loss so I can't lose half of my account on my stop loss. I can lose like a third or a quarter, but I can't lose half.
Right.
And that's one of the things that I wasn't doing. I was just setting the stop loss to what it looked like I should set it to, and I wasn't doing a calculation to try to be like, do you agree with this? Are you comfortable with this loss? I was comfortable with it from a technical analysis perspective. I was not comfortable with it from a financial analysis perspective.
Mm-hmm.
So my risk management needed to change.
Mm-hmm.
So in 24 hours, you had a swing. What was the low to the high this morning?
So I'm up 700 today.
Okay,
so I was down to like 315 yesterday. That 948 dropped to 315.
So you were at 948 yesterday earlier, dropped down to 315
by making 2 bad trades.
Yep. And you were, because you were pushing to get to the 1,000.
I was pushing to get over 1,000. I completely forced it and did everything against, not everything, but it was against my discipline. I thought the decision was good. I just set my stop loss too low for both of them. But that was the stop loss that I was comfortable with, what I thought was going to be necessary for it to bounce and win.
Yeah.
It just went a little too low. And they both did turn around, by the way. Both of those trades were right. But the stop loss, which again was set properly, was just too low for that trade. So the decision wasn't wrong. The timing was wrong.
Got it.
But again, too, with the balance like that, I didn't care. Like, I was like, this is par for the course. You're going to get it. You know what you're doing. I'm at 86% on that.
See? So, yeah, you definitely know what you're doing. You're learning.
Yeah.
You know what you're doing to a level, right?
Mm-hmm.
We never stop learning, and you don't, by a long shot, don't know everything, right?
No.
But you've learned enough to say, okay, I know how to pick good entries, right? I'm usually fairly good at picking good entries. It's the exits that I'm working on personally. But in your case, you're picking good entries and you're getting some good exits and you're getting profit.
Yeah, I'd say my exits have got really well. My biggest issue actually has been the entries. My entries are good, but with the timing on some of my entries, I got to get better, because that's what's causing me to go into like in those lower accounts.
Yeah,
that's what I'm noticing on like the lower $100 account. I should not have that drawback immediately getting in on any trade. If I only have $100 in the account, then I should be so like 90% confident that this is only going up for at least like a minute, or maybe go on the 5 and 15 minute till I build that to 250, then move over to the 1 hour.
Yes.
But you got to go for you got to have confidence. And that's something that on my entries, I haven't done a good job on the lower balance accounts. On the bigger balance that I grew, I mean, I grew that account to that. So, I mean, I did a lot of things right, but I also did it primarily sticking at the 1 hour to grow it. And then I moved over to the 4 hour.
Got it. Yeah. In the 4 hours, it's a whole lot easier. There can be a lot of movement in a 4 hour candle. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, while it doesn't seem to move fast, there's 4 hours of time for it to go pretty high and pretty low.
Yep.
Right. So you have to be able to handle that and handle a potential drawdown.
Yep.
So one more question I want to ask you on this, and I didn't mean for this to turn into an interview,
It's all good.
but it's like, I'm really, really proud of you, how you've learned, how you've done this and pulled this off. But when we look at this particular account that is now over 1,000, forget the trade that you're in. I'm not talking about the trade that you're in right now, but that account, what was the lowest point on that account, or what did you open that account with?
100.
$100. So forget our 250 to 100. You actually did not 4x. You actually 10x'd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And put it like this: my first account that I had for this whole thing, I did put 250 in.
Yeah.
And that was a Tasty account though. That was my very first account, and that's what I planned on using until I realized that the leverage wasn't as good, and I realized there were a few other restrictions, and that I realized I like GNT better.
Yeah.
So that account I made a lot of initial mistakes with, and that account went all the way down to $25. And then that's up to 65 right now, because it's slow. It's so slow. Like you only get like 20-cent wins, $2 wins. If I get $1 or $2 win on that, my goal is to basically 20% every day on that account. Just grow it 20%, and I will probably spend a half an hour at it during the whole day, maybe an hour. But I do it while I'm doing other things. It's a completely secondary or tertiary thing. So that was my first 250 account. And now my goal on that is grow that back up to 250, get it out of there 100%, get it over to GNT. And then that, as I said, my son's account's growing. So his is fine, but I want to get his over too. But then like my initial wins was like $7.70, $7.90. Then I had a big $101 loss, which almost brought me down to zero. Then I profited 52. You know what I mean? And then it's like $5, $37. And then what I learned is if I'm under $100, I'm not doing more than 0.02 lot size ever. Once I get over $250, I'm comfortable with doing a 0.5. Once I got up to 750, I'm doing 0.1. Sorry, 0.05 at 500.
I know what you meant.
But 750, I'm doing 0.1 lot size. Yeah. And that grows quick. You also can lose quick, but again, if I'm winning 86% of the time, because I am tracking this, if I'm winning 86, I'm fine.
You're not going to win 100. It would be great to win 100% of the time and have 100% profitable trades. That's not reality.
No,
it's not realistic. But at 86%, I'm tracking mine as well because we're in my Forex book. So it's tracking and documenting our journey that way. But those are stats and stuff we can go into it at a different time. But we'll have to, I look at growth, and you were just talking, raising the value of that account by 20% in a day. Folks, think about that for 1 second, right? What do you get paid at your bank? Right? Over the course of a year, what do you earn in a percentage, right? Maybe you've got a money market account there. What do you earn? We're talking 20% in a day.
Yep.
Right. So, we think about mortgages, right? I was in the mortgage industry for almost 15 years, and great industry, learned a lot, did a lot, helped a lot. But that industry, if you think about it, when you get a mortgage on a house, what are you doing? You're borrowing, and typically the rate is, today it's like roughly 6%. It could be lower, it could be higher, but roughly 6% today, which is down. It was over 7 before. In fact, when I bought my house last year, the rate was 7%, and that was a good rate at the time. But if you think about that, at 7% over 30 years, what does that mean you paid back? You paid back like almost 3 times what you borrowed.
Right.
Pay for that 3 times, right? Well, that's at 7%. What if and that's compounding daily. What you're talking about, Mike, is compounding daily at 20%.
Yeah, and it's not that difficult.
Right. Mhm.
It's really not that difficult. It's just paying attention and following and just showing up and practicing. And the biggest way we learned how to do that, honestly, the biggest way I learned how to do that was by my demo accounts. Like once I lost money, real money, I'm like, this sucks. I'm I, I'm like, I love trading, but I am not in the business of donating to the Trading View of America, whatever, or GNT, whatever you want to call it. I'm not getting any tax break for this donation. So there's no way I'm doing that. So then I just moved over to demo, and then I started getting a better understanding of where my comfort was on what is 0.02, what is a typical drawback, where would I be comfortable at 0.05, where am I comfortable at? I mean, honestly, at 100 for my first trade on 100, I would typically do even 0.01, but I'm not doing 0.01 because I'm confident at an 86% win rate. The 0.02 makes more sense because that's going to get me to where I want to go faster.
Yeah.
I just have to be willing to get out when it's not the way I want it to look.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's a good thing to do.
Yep.
Right. So you've gotta, if you make a call on a trade, that's something I can say I've certainly improved on.
Mhm.
I'm not where I want to be, but I've improved on that. I get out sooner if things are not going or are not shaping up the way I anticipated them shaping up.
Mhm.
Now, if I still think it's going to continue in that direction, I'll stay. But I'm watching a lot of stuff when I'm trading because I want to profit, right?
Yep.
You're not into donating to the Trading View GNTs of the world.
Right.
Fine. Yeah, I love to donate, but not to places like that.
No, I'm getting nothing out of it besides a bank account looking like he's standing there with the pockets inside out. It's not the image I want.
No. Well, you're getting
Um,
closer, and this trade plays out today. It could be a very good. You might hit that second forex in a day.
yeah, there's a chance. And that's what I'm trying to play with the lot sizes. So what I think I'm going to have to do, because I never played with anything bigger than 0.1. Why would I?
Yeah.
It didn't matter. Now I'm like, I got to go back to demo and start playing with 0.2, 0.3, 0.5, and what's the balance and what's the draws on that. So I got to go to my demo account for that, which I'll probably start doing, I assume, probably tomorrow. I'm not going to really do it today. I'm going to stay in this one today and then get out. I'm already deeper in today than I have been all week. Just I'm riding this one out.
Yeah.
But we'll go from there. We'll learn.
I did play the 0.5 once. I was trying to do a 0.05, but I missed that little zero piece.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
When I realized it, and I didn't even look at anything else, I jumped out of the trade. That was probably a very small loss at the time, considering it was a 0.5. It could have been a huge loss.
Yep.
But it was just like scared the crap out of me when I was there. Like, wait, I can't do that yet.
Yep.
Just I was not there. I'm still not there. But
that's again too, understanding the balance. And that's where I mean, we all have access to the demo. My son has access to the demo account. You guys all have access to a demo account. I can't recommend it enough, is play with it. Like I got off live money for 2 weeks. I didn't put a dime in. I just was like, I got to get better. You can't be losing on stuff like this because you're winning too often. So what are you doing wrong? And I knew what I was doing wrong, but I had to actually build that confidence back up, because I'm not gonna like I had like a 2-day period about 3-4 weeks ago, and my confidence was shattered. And I was like, I know I'm better than this. I know what I'm doing. Why am I not winning? Why am I not consistently profiting? And it was because of balance, primarily.
Yeah.
It was balance and me, obviously. It was me not having the knowledge also. But for where I am today, my balance needed to be higher for me to not be a stress ball and putting myself in situations that I didn't want to be in.
Yeah.
So,
well, we're very happy for you, and looking forward to more great forexes coming up. And so have at it, man. I think, like they say that first million is the toughest to earn. And I'll agree
Yep.
with that. The second million is much easier. Here, it's going to be, that first 4X definitely is tough.
Yeah.
Getting to that has been difficult, but that's because we didn't have a base. We had to learn. And now that we've got a base, now you hit it. I'm going to hit it. I still have a little ways to go, but I'm going to hit it. I know Steven will hit it. And then it's others that are in this quest with us will hit it. Right. And by the way, if you want to be part of this quest, last piece here, before you guys do closing comments is, look, folks, I know we're not making financial advice here or giving you financial advice. We're simply documenting our journey. So don't do exactly what we're doing. Just learn from what we're doing and enjoy the share, right? But if you want to be part of this quest, you want to do your own Forexing all the way up. And yes, I know it's a play on words, but Mike came up with that and it was a good one. So we're sticking with it. But if you want to be part of this quest, just go to q2am.com, register. When we get a chance, we'll reach back out to you. We'll help you get started. Okay. So with that, Mike or Steven, any final comments as we close this out for today?
Yeah.
One of the great things about the Forex trading is we don't actually have to take possession and own the stock. So we're not waiting for a company valuation to go up, for the people running the company to do the things necessary so that they have an increase in profit or something else that helps that go up. So we're able to win on a daily basis.
Yeah.
And not, have to, make a large investment and sit and wait and have no control. That's the beauty that I found at Forex trading.
Indeed.
Yep. And for me, I would just say, again, you're going through it with us. And this is where you get the benefit of the community. I mean, in this scenario right here, we're going to be able to guide you to say, follow everything Donnie's saying. Here's what we did right when we first got started. Here's what we did wrong. Here's how you can not make the mistakes that we made. And yeah, you're going to make a couple of them yourself, especially if you're stubborn, which honestly, there needs to be a tad bit of stubbornness to even succeed in this anyway, is to have that confidence in self. So that's fine. But let's minimize those losses and let's just win together. I mean, it's just too fun.
Indeed. And I'll leave with congratulations again, Mike. Really proud of you. Really happy for you. And let's hit that next Forex, bud.
Yep.
All right. Have a great one. I will see you tomorrow at approximately 10:15 a.m. Eastern time, and make it a profitable day, folks.